Good morning, students. Hope you are all doing well. Let's get ready for an interesting class today. Today we are going to learn about integers, and by the end of the class, you will understand what positive and negative in numbers are and where we use them in real life. Students, until now, we have used numbers only for counting like 1, 2, 3, and so on. But in real life, numbers are not always about counting or increasing. Sometimes we experience loss, decrease, or movement backward. For example, the temperature can be below 0 degrees Celsius, a lift can go below the ground floor, and a person may have minus 20 rupees in debt. To represent such situations, we need numbers less than 0, which we call negative numbers. When we combine positive numbers, negative numbers, and 0, we get a bigger family of numbers called integers. On a number line, integers extend in both directions, to the right with positive numbers and to the left with negative numbers, with 0 in the middle. In this chapter, we will learn how integers work and how they help us understand real life situations better. Positive integers are the numbers that are greater than 0. These are the numbers we normally use for counting and measuring. Examples 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Positive integers do not have a minus sign. Sometimes we may write a plus sign in front of like plus 3 or plus 7. But even if we don't write the plus sign, the number is still positive. On a number line, positive integers are found to the right of 0. We use positive integers in everyday life when we talk about 5 apples, 10 marks gained, 3 steps forward, rupees 200 savings. So, positive integers represent increase, gain, counting, or forward movement. Negative integers are the numbers that are less than 0. They have a minus sign in front of them. For example, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, and so on. On a number line, negative integers are found to be left side of 0. We use negative integers to show situations like loss of money, temperature below 0 degrees Celsius, flows below ground level, moving backward or decreasing. So negative integers helps us represent loss, decrease, depth, or backward movement, things that go below 0. So in short, we can say negative integers are integers that are less than 0 and have a minus sign. 0 is a very special number in integers. It is neither positive nor negative. It is just 0. On the number line, 0 is placed in the center. Positive integers are on the right side of 0 and negative integers are on the left side of 0. 0 shows no gain and no loss, no increase and no decrease. For example, if you have rupees 0, it means you have no money. A temperature of 0 degrees Celsius means it is neither hot nor cold compared to freezing point. If your score changes from plus 5 to 0, it means the value has become nothing. 0 is also called the identity for addition because when we add 0 to any number, the number remains the same. For example, 5 plus 0 is equal to 5 and minus 3 plus 0 is equal to minus 3. So 0 acts as a middle point and a neutral number in integers. A number line is a straight horizontal line used to show numbers in order. In integers, the center point is 0. From 0, numbers written to the right are positive integers and numbers written to the left are negative integers. All numbers are placed at equal distances from each other. We use arrows on both ends of the number line to show that numbers continue forever in both directions. Moving right, increase, gain, forward. Moving left means decrease, loss, backward. So the number line helps us easily compare integers and understand which number is greater or smaller. Integers are represented on a number line by placing 0 at the center, positive integers to the right of 0, and negative integers to the left, all at equal distances. To compare integers, we use the number line rule. The number that is on the right side is always greater. The number that is on the left side is always smaller. This rule works for all integers. Now comparing positive integers. These behave like normal numbers. 5 is greater than 3 because 5 is to the right of 3. 9 is greater than 2 because 9 is bigger in value. Comparing negative integers. For negative numbers, the rule reverses from our normal thinking. The negative number with the smaller value is actually greater. For example, minus 2 is greater than minus 5 because minus 2 is to the right of minus 5. Minus 1 is greater than minus 4. Among negative numbers, the one closer to 0 is always greater. Comparing positive and negative integers. Any positive integer is always greater than any negative integer. For example, 3 is always greater than minus 4. 1 is greater than minus 99 because positive are on the right side of 0. Ordering integers means arranging them from smallest to greatest or from greatest to smallest. To do this, we use the number line. The number further to the left is smaller. The number further to the right is greater. Ordering in ascending order, put the numbers on number line. Start reading them from left to right. For example, minus 5, 2, 0, minus 1 in ascending order. Number line order, minus 5, minus 1, 0, 2. So ascending order is minus 5, minus 1, 0 and then 2. While going from left to right, numbers keep increasing. Now ordering in descending order. Again imagine the number line. Read the numbers from right to left. Arrange 3, minus 2, 1 and minus 4 in descending order. Order is 3, 1, minus 2, minus 4. While going from right to left, numbers keep decreasing. So, among negative numbers, the number closer to 0 is greater. The number further from 0 is smaller. In ordering integers, numbers are arranged based on the number line. Left side numbers are smaller and right side numbers are greater. While adding integers, if the signs are the same, we add and keep the same sign. If the signs are different, we subtract and keep the sign of the bigger integer. Adding two positive integers. Positive integers means numbers greater than 0. When we add two positive integers, we simply add them normally and the answer is also positive. For example, 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. Positive plus positive is equal to add and the answer remains positive. 5 marks gained plus 3 marks gained is equal to 8 marks gained. Now adding two negative integers. Negative integers means numbers less than 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. When we add two negative integers, we add the numbers. We put a minus sign in the answer. For example, minus 2 plus minus 3 is equal to minus 5. Minus 4 plus minus 6 is equal to minus 10. So, negative plus negative is equal to add the numbers and keep the minus sign. So when two integers have the same sign, we add their values. For positive integers, the answer is positive, and for negative integers, the answer is negative. When one number is positive and the other is negative, we do not add directly. Instead, we subtract and then decide the sign of the answer. For example, subtract the smaller number from the bigger number by value. 7 plus minus 3. Now subtract 7 minus 3, that is 4. Bigger number is 7, positive, so the answer will be plus 4. Second example is minus 8 plus 5. Subtract 8 minus 5, the result is 3. Now the bigger number is 8 and 8 is negative, so the answer is minus 3. One more example, minus 6 plus 2. We'll subtract, so 6 minus 2 is 4. Now among these two, the bigger number is minus 6, negative, therefore the answer is minus 4. Positive means gain, negative means loss. See which one is more. The sign of the bigger value wins. When we subtract integers, we don't subtract directly. We change subtraction into addition and then use the rules of addition. Subtracting a number is equal to adding its opposite, that is reverse sign. To subtract integers, we add the opposite of the second number, change its sign and then add. Here are some practical examples of integers. Positive integers, counting money you have rupees 200, rupees 50. Steps forward while walking or in a game, 3 steps, 7 steps. Floors above ground level, first floor, second floor, third floor. Marks gained in a test, plus 5 marks, plus 10 marks. Temperature above 0, that is 5 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees Celsius. Now some examples of negative integers. Steps backward in a game, minus 2 steps, minus 4 steps. Floors below ground level, that is basement, minus 1, minus 2. Marks lost in a test, minus 3, minus 5. Temperature below 0, minus 5 degrees Celsius, minus 10 degrees Celsius. Examples of 0, bank balance of rupees 0, temperature 0 degrees Celsius, no movement forward or backward, that is 0 steps. So important points to remember in this chapter are integers include negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers. 0 has no sign. Number line helps in comparing integers. Subtraction can be changed into addition of the opposite number. Today we learn about integers, numbers that can be positive, negative or 0. We saw how they are used in real life like money, temperature, steps and flows. Remember, positive numbers are greater than 0, negative numbers are less than 0 and 0 is in the middle. Keep practicing addition, subtraction and comparison of integers to make them easy and fun. Integers are positive numbers, negative numbers and 0. Positive numbers are greater than 0, negative numbers are less than 0 and 0 is in the middle. Integers are everywhere in money, temperature, steps and flows. Remember, math is like life. It has ups and downs, but every step counts. So don't be afraid of negative numbers. They only make your gains more exciting. Keep practicing and integers will become fun and easy.